digitization opportunities for utilities as they march towards their net zero goals? I think there's really 4 key areas that we need to think about in helping utilities in this area. I think first and foremost, it's going to be a digital process, right? That's what the question is. And so engaging the customer digitally to immerse them in this process so that they can help the utilities achieve these goals. So you need to have a customer experience that's simple for the customer, right? If it's complex, they're not going to want to use it. They're not going to want to engage. It needs to be intuitive. It needs to be friction-free. It can't be something they feel like, oh, this is too painful to use, or they won't do it. It needs to be smart. It needs to know where that customer is at in their journey. And it needs to really provide a line of sight. This is the key piece of the first part. It needs to provide a line of sight for the customer to understand the clean energy options and then how they engage to enable or enact those options or participate in those options. So that's number 1. Number 2, it needs to bring in the ecosystem that's outside, right? It's not just the customer experience as it relates to the utility, but also the outside players. The EV vendors are important, the energy efficiency vendors, the landscape vendors, the solar vendors, et cetera. How do you tie these third-party players in the ecosystem back to the utility and the customer in a digital, easy to understand, meaningful way so that they can engage? And then thirdly, it needs to be immersive, right? It can't have a lot of noise, a lot of distraction. The interface, the design, the way you engage the customer needs to be straightforward, direct, and it needs to pull them in a way that they want to participate. They want to sign up for these programs. They want to experience and help with the whole clean energy movement. And then lastly, it's really meeting the customer where they are, understanding where the customer is at from a data standpoint. Is this a low income customer that maybe has some challenges, and how do we help them with programs that really save them money and that are simple for them to activate? Or is it a customer that's thinking about an EV purchase? How do you make that purchase clear in terms of the ROI for that customer? Is it a calculator, something as simple as that, where they can plug in what their old car is and what the miles per gallon is for that car? Or they just plug in the car, the system knows the miles per gallon, then they put in the new car that they're looking at, the EV, how many miles they drive on average, and then it provides that annual savings right out of the gate. And so now the customer is, hey, I'm gonna go buy this EV because now I know I'm gonna save this much, and that's helping the utility and the world, quite frankly, achieve these net zero goals. So those are 4 things that I think are important for us to focus on to help in this whole process. Thank you.